You know, recently, some of our members here at Lighthouse experienced heartache, sicknesses, and, you know, as pastor, painful para sa akin yun to see our faithful members go through such things in life, challenging trials, and many other challenges in life. But we seek comfort from God's Word, that these things shall come to pass. You know, taking these verses from well-known hymn, "Whatever my lot thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul."
How do we deal with such challenges in life? Yan po ang ating pag-uusapan sa ating episode ngayong araw, starting with an interview with a business owner who deal with business challenges on a day-to-day basis. Kasama natin mamaya sa What's Brewing si Mr. June Bulos.
In Espresso Self, let us be blessed with a real life testimony from a cancer survivor, si Miss Edna Dacanay. So stay tuned for this episode. In Health Talks, cancer awareness and testing naman ang tatalakayin, all from a special lecture conducted by Dr. Joy Janobas tungkol sa awareness sa deadly disease na ito.
So relevant and interesting talks await all of you today. Kaya tuloy-tuloy lamang po ang inyong panood sa amin. Ako po si Reza Abante Yebra.
At ako naman, si Bishop Robin Abante. Join us and let's have good talk over good coffee. Welcome to
Lighthouse Cafe.
Our country's economy has been tipped as being among the most promising in the world, being the 43rd largest economy in the world. And our country certainly has the scope for development. This was according to an online article released by the business expert TMF Group. However, despite the many modernizations undertaken by the country, the World Bank and IFC ranked the Philippines as the 138th place out of 185 economies for ease of doing business.
Sabi nga po nila, it's challenging ang magtayo ng business sa ating bansa. And among the main challenges in starting would be high capital requirement, lengthy business setup, procedure, kasama na rin dyan yung maraming dokumento na kailangan ayusin at ilakad, and even the tax burden.
Ay, nako, ang daming problema. And our guest for today, Reza, has a business that deals with the government sector, which I'm sure, very, very challenging. Kasama natin ngayon ang aking kaibigan na si John Bulos, who owns a patchmaking business. And well, he's also a consultant sa mga ibang mga gawain. You know. Well, welcome to Lighthouse Cafe, John.
Welcome to Lighthouse.
Magandang araw sa iyo.
Thank you for the invitation.
Oh, yes. You do some consultancies.
Yeah, I do business systems.
Yes.
And also I do management development.
I see.
So IT systems, I look at.
IT systems. Kailangan ka namin sa GCTV.
Ano po ba ang background nyo, Sir June?
Well, I graduated in De La Salle University, electronics engineering. So, and then
Medyo magkapatid kami nito sa field. Okay.
yeah. But for a long time, I worked in the semiconductor manufacturing. And then after that, the company closed and I went to telecoms naman.
Yes.
And yeah.
Marami ka ng pinanggalingan, sir. Oo. But you are with a church, and you're basically a Christian. Kaya nga what we're featuring here ay yung mindset ng mga mananampalataya and how we can fit in sa isang challenging world that we have.
Definitely.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, in a brief, how do you describe itong environment natin sa business and how challenging talaga ito sa mga mananampalataya?
True. I think a Christian businessman to me is more challenging kasi rather than if you just go with the flow in how others do, because there are many things that because of what we believe in you cannot do, or you'll shy away from, or you will let opportunities go.
And what we are here sa Lighthouse Cafe, and of course, ang ating tagline dito ay where good talks happen. At anong mabuti roon sa pinag-uusapan natin? It's this, that we want to be material para sa equipping ng maraming mga Kristiyano on how they can do, rather than being discouraged, No, rather than, ayoko na sa mundong ito, ganyan.
Right.
Ano. Saan ka naman pupunta? Sa langit.
Correct.
No. Nung naging mananampalataya naman tayo, hindi tayo kinuha para
Kinuha
makita sa langit.
Exactly.
And we are here.
Yeah.
And we ought to serve as lights and salt wherever we are.
True. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Alam mo, kaya nga, we need to really raise up, no, yung identity natin as Christians.
Mm-hmm.
Sabi ng father ko nung araw in one of his preachings, it takes a live fish to go upstream.
Yeah.
Lahat ng dead fishes can swim downstream.
Mm-hmm.
Go with the flow.
Go with the flow.
Yeah.
Pero because we have life in us, and that's our relationship with Christ,
True.
and that's what we need to have.
Yeah.
Right.
In fact, I remember one short before na puro pa ganun yung then there's one fish.
Going up against.
That's good.
Parang ganun po ba ang experience nyo as a Christian businessman in the line of business that you have now?
Yeah, I think as you do your business, ganun yung nagiging. But initially, parang initially parang may mga compromises ka eh. And then you strengthen your stand.
Lalo na yung setting natin, no, sa Pilipinas.
Yeah, true. True.
Masyado tayong innovative.
Yeah.
Na we try to circumvent everything.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Under the table.
How do you describe the Filipino, no, as a businessman compared to others?
Well, sabi mo nga kanina, creative, no? Creative. But I also read a book, and this is a Christian book on business.
Yes.
That he was advising as well that use the law to your advantage as well. Even if you're a Christian, use whatever is in the law for you to, not avoid taxes, but at least maximize the law for you to be able to reduce at least your taxes or expenses. Yeah. And it's not wrong to do that. But to reduce your taxes, to avoid taxes by doing some creative things, which sometimes many of your friends, but why will you pay the government this much, diba?
Lalo na pag ang parameter mo palaging morality. In fact, minsan ang issue ng morality subjective.
Yeah. True.
Oo.
Yeah.
Pero para sa ating mga mananampalataya, ang basihan natin the Word of God.
Yeah.
But well, that opens you to a lot of things.
Exactly. In fact, sometimes when you compute your bottom line, and parang isipin mo, then I'll pay this amount of tax.
Yeah.
Diba? I had a friend, para saan pa't nagnegosyo ka kung ganun din ang
babayaran.
Diba? Pero hindi eh.
Yeah.
I mean, yun yung sinasabi ko, Christian, that's where Christians should differ.
Right.
Diba? I mean, I think because it's the Lord who will give you the market. It's the Lord who will give the opportunities. Well, first and foremost, I think Christian businessmen should have the mindset that it's not their business.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, alam mo, there are several ways to going about this. Yung iba, they would rather just be employed.
Yeah.
No? Yung iba naman, well, I need to rise above just, I need to have a portion for what I want to go into business. So tell us, no? You being there, you doing consultancy, you're giving some advices. If one would dare start a business, what should he have in mind? Anong klaseng dapat lakas ng loob meron siya?
Well, actually, when we started this business, I was still employed.
Okay.
Yeah, I was still employed, and my brother actually was the one who's. My brother is also a believer, but he passed away already. But he was the one who's really the real entrepreneur. Diba?
Okay.
And let's get into this, and because he used to be in the military, and then that's when he got the idea, and he was talking to me, why do we do this? My background was really operations, systems, so parang nag-complement yung namin.
Okay.
So I said, let's buy a machine, etc. So, and I think for those, I've heard also employees who really just jumped and took the leap of faith and pursued their, But ako hindi ganun yung naging, I mean, I had meron akong,
May
kasi
buffer.
may buffer ako.
Hindi very abrupt
Oo,
na.
may
hindi mo
buffer
na
ako
ganun.
di ba?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good to have that.
Yeah, oo. No?
O paano kung wala
lang.
kang mga ganong patete?
Diba?
Ano po ba ang business nyo? Yung patchmaking for
Oo,
the...
for the military. So, if you see the uniforms of the military, they have this
Hindi ito
names.
yung patch na pag napaplat yung
No. Hindi rin yung
mga
cigarette
ano,
patch.
right, no,
Yung
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's dati kasi yung patches parang manually embroidered. So hindi maganda.
Digital na rin yung
Yeah,
design.
ngayon digital na. But not all digital are the same. Even
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's really how you make the patch come alive. And that's how we distinguish ourselves.
How the patch comes alive.
Ano pong pagkakaiba nun?
From the way you program it. The way you digitize, the way you combine colors, the way you
So the
very
first
different.
challenge is yung mismo nasa produkto mo,
Yeah.
how you can develop that,
Yeah.
and how you can improve your way.
In fact, there are I had customers who came to me and namahalan doon sa fee kasi I have a setup fee And I said, you can go to another, pwede pumunta sa kaya lang, hindi ko sigurado kung maganda yung magiging labas ng mo.
Yeah.
Ano pa ito, I remember it was a special forces, sabi ko
Yes.
medyo,
So
Tigansik mo
we
ito.
can say therefore na in order for you to meet some challenges, you must be determined to make your product good.
yeah, I think, yeah, I mean,
You know,
usually in the Bible, di ba sabi, whatever your hand finds to do it with your might.
That's it.
Di ba?
Oo.
So, you have to make your product excellent. You have to deliver
And then by
quality.
itself, wag mo nang isipin kung ano yung
Yeah.
competition,
Yeah.
but by
By itself.
itself,
Mhm.
put something that's creative
Yeah.
there and everything.
There has to be something that distinguishes you.
Yeah. Unique selling proposition
I
yun.
mean,
ano,
yeah,
yun.
in marketing. I
And
mean,
not, and not just your product. Syempre, you cannot have a good product without
Yeah.
having a good service.
yeah. Mhm.
So that
Yep.
makes a difference.
Yeah. So, I mean, I can have this good product, but if I deliver it always late,
Yeah, oo nga.
we had that problem for initially Balik yung customer, asan na yung ko? Ay, hindi pa tapos So, nakakailang balik.
Yeah.
So, those are some of the things that you have to solve. Pag sinabi mo,
And you have to believe in what you can do. You have to
Yeah.
believe in.
that you're safe,
Uy,
yet you
maganda yun, ha?
Yeah. Diba?
How can you meet challenges kung yung produkto mo hindi hindi makamit ng mga
Correct.
certain standards?
And you can deliver on your promises, hindi lang dun
Yeah.
sa quality ng product, pero even the way they serve the
Yeah.
customers.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Kaya sa akin, pag may nagreklamo ng sabi nyo ganito, etc. No questions asked. Palta ko.
Tsaka alam mo, it's consistent with who we are.
Yeah.
Oo. And with the God who we are
Yeah.
with identified with.
Yeah.
Oo. Kaya nga ang challenge don't go against challenges kung hindi mo alam muna what's in you.
Yeah.
So, bale, ang maganda pala sa Kristiyanong pupunta sa isang business is well, put your best foot forward
Yeah.
in what you are,
Yeah.
in your discipline, in your mindset, and in your product.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
And it will show actually in the way you're going to the way you deal with your customer. And the way you are actually going to give your instructions to your people. Nilitaw
Yeah. So ito pong business nyo, it started at what year po?
We started in 2005.
Okay. And how is it now?
It's stable and
12
it's
years
growing.
after?
12 years after. I mean, initially I was having doubts with my brother. I said, okay, they order one, kailan sila babalik? Then when I started running it,
Oo.
oh, wow. And then that's why I say, it's tuloy-tuloy pala. So I said, as long as there's a military.
Pero alam mo,
Hindi na mawawala.
palagay ko alam mo rin naman ang attitude ng mga Pinoy, yung lalo yung crab mentality. One rises up and the others pull down.
Yeah.
Naharap na rin
Oh,
ba
yeah.
yung ganyan?
Yeah. In fact, we were the pioneer in that kind of patch, the digital ones. We were one of the we have among those who produce now kasi marami nang gumaya.
Oh.
Nakita nila yung But we have the most complete collection. I mean, every probably single unit in the military, we have that. We have their logo.
I see.
So that's parang our intellectual property.
Yeah.
That's yung,
How else do you innovate po dito sa ganitong industry? Or
I look at, of course, there's internet, no? So you look at developments in that, and you compare, and then you look at your mga gumaya. Yeah. They really try to make it look like ours.
I'm quite interested kasi in a competition like where you are, magbibidding, for example, lahat ipababa. I mean, no? Kasi syempre, ang perception is this, the lowest bidder. What may I ask you? Yung bang pinaka-lowest bidder, does that mean is the best offer?
Ako hindi eh. Kasi when your lowest bid, I wonder if what the specs are you're bidding.
Yes.
Di ba? I mean, it's just a product, and then how about the delivery of your service and all the other terms? Di ba? You have the lowest quote.
I also had some experiences before kasi I also came from the corporate world when we were joining bids.
Yeah.
I once discussed this with some people sa government. Like, the lowest bid does not mean it's necessarily the best.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay? Why? Because is it the right product?
Right.
Do you have the right support?
Right.
Do you have the right price? Okay? Do you have the right delivery?
Exactly.
Do you have the right support? I mean, hindi lang support ng dealer, kundi support ng factory and everything.
True.
And yun eh.
True.
So, pero challenging, ano?
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think also that, one of the challenges also is really in running the business. Diba? Kasi you face the same problems. Diba? I mean, you'll have an employee that is not doing well. Yun naman yung mga ganon, diba?
Okay.
So I think the challenge of business to the Christian is how you treat those employees. I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, minsan talagang magagalit ka rin. Bakit ganito ang naging
Siyempre, you're
diba?
you're driven by your longing to be consistent with the Word of God.
Yeah.
So how do you deliver this? How do you translate this?
Yeah, diba? So minsan,
Right.
minsan, may inis ka, diba? Yung nagpabaya yung isa. Diba? And ang challenge is, dahil ba Christian tayo, hindi na natin ididili
Magagalit.
Magagalit. yung gano'n, diba? But sometimes you have to as long as you don't curse that person and diba, and don't may righteous anger kumbaga. So even that. But also to correct
Pwede naman
behavior.
maging angry, but you don't need to have the sun come down.
Yeah.
Oh, right?
Yeah.
And your anger will last the next day.
Yeah. So and then of course there are times na talagang and then you realize, nga pala, I'm a Christian nga pala, and they know that I am a Christian. So I think it's how you treat your employees will also show whether the authenticity of what you say is, diba? Are you fair with them or diba?
Yeah. Okay. So, plus, syempre, yung competition mo. What about the competition? Ano bang tamang attitude mo sa competition mo? Kill your competition?
I think competition is healthy.
Yeah.
Because it challenges you to
Do even better.
do it even better. And then nakikita mo, am I still the original unique selling proposition yan? Are you still able to maintain your niche? Meron pa bang difference dun sa nakikita mo?
How do you balance? Halimbawa, may competition. Ang iba, ang trato nila sa competition, magsama-sama na lang tayo rito. Let's do a cartel. Okay. Yung bang parang nag-bidding kayo.
I know.
Rather than isang pag-usapan
Pag-usapan
naman
natin.
natin. How do you address that? What should be a Christian mindset sa bagay na ito?
Pwede well, of course, meron naman mga associations and all, but you can actually cooperate with your competition, di ba?
Yes.
competitor.
But not rig the whole thing.
Diba?
I'm also curious nga rin po, di ba, usually sa mga government, may mga, alam naman rin, may mga under the table na paano niyo po dinideal yung mga ganun?
But sa akin, fortunately, I don't deal directly with because yun, it's not supplied by so I don't go to the bidding process because yung mga sundalo, they buy.
I see.
Kasi hindi, because it's going to be a logistical nightmare for the
so hindi siya parang supplier for the whole,
kasi because kasi yung iba, nalilipat ka ng unit, so palit ka na naman. So paano isusupply ng napopromote na yun?
So given this balance is sinasabi ko, no? Like for example, syempre, among the competitors, they may have some arrangements. Pero, while they may have some arrangements, ang nagsasuffer naman, yung quality na dapat ilipat doon sa client. Di ba? Alam mo, sabi ng banal na kasulatan, an unjust balance is an abomination to God.
True.
Bibili ako ng isang produkto and I don't get the right value and the right quality for what I purchase. So how do you do this?
Actually, mahirap kasi sabi sa kanina nag-usap tayo, I have experiences kasi meron din namang units na who buy, especially yung if it's for the whole yung common, Meron because they know that my patches is maganda yung workmanship namin, So some of these suppliers will ask me to sample it, di ba? So thinking na sige na sa akin kukuha pag nag-produce na, But they'll use it only for presentation.
Sample ka lang, sir.
At pagka gano'n use...
Ano pakiramdam mo niya? Parang
siyempre, you get...
Toto ka rin mo.
You get cheated. Exactly. Parang you felt, parang cheated. But you become wiser as well. Kasi malalaman mo in the network, sino ba ito? And then you become wiser na. Tik muna. Ginagamit mo na ako
Oh, yes. Well, pwede naman maging wise, but you remain to be harmless. Alam mo, ang daming ikot ng mga pinag-uusapan natin na yun.
Very interesting po to kasi hindi naman common yung yung business na industry. Kaya yung the way it works, the way yung operation side.
I thought it was, kasi nga ako, I've worked with technology companies, for a long time. And in this one, I never thought that I will get into this, But but it uses technology. It uses an IT system. It uses software. It uses digitally run machines. So sabi ko, there's still technology there. Plus, I came from military background, so I know.
Sa military lang po ba kayo nagsiserve nito?
I don't know. We even supply mga corporate logos and
I see.
Yeah.
Siguro pati yung mga I'm into Boys Brigade, yung Brigade Philippines. Yun yung Christian counterpart ng Boy Scouts.
Boy Scout.
Well, I didn't know that. That's good.
Maganda ito. Yung mga logo nun maraming challenges. It won't cease in life. So anong dapat na attitude ng mananampalataya? Because you never know when they will come. Si Joe, bigla na lang, boom! Dumating yung mga servants niya. Boss, wala na po yung mga anak ninyo. Tapos, boom! Boss, wala na po yung negosyo nyo. Boom! Wala. Ang nag-remain sa kanya, misis niyang nagger.
Minsan nga, kasi I'm hybrid ako na retail and volume, So there are times, of course, I have an order list, Minsan sabihin sa akin ng mga, boss, isang page na lang yung orders natin. So that means walang orders. Walang, And may mga times na now you start panicking na, di ba? Because it will affect your cash flow, it will affect, ano pa, pasweldo ko sa mga tao, or, di ba? Or baka ba may tumagal ito. But over the years, you've learned to, again, be reminded that, it's the Lord who brings the market.
That's good.
Diba? I mean, if this is really
Seek ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and let His righteousness be seen in what you do in your business.
He will provide.
And He gives you all the openings that you need,
Exactly. Yeah.
all the opportunities you need, because all these things shall be added unto you.
Yeah.
The thing is, we tend to forget the first.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And many times I've been testing and 2 weeks na. Ganun pa rin. Then, when you start praying, then the Lord will make you realize na,
Parang yung verse sa Philippians na be anxious over nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication.
Okay.
And
Alam mo, interestingly, I was once teaching, some weeks back, and I was expounding on the fruit of the Spirit in a Christian. And how does that come about? Kasi, in our setting, madalas we are just so concerned with skills and abilities and whatever we do. Akala natin, yun ang tinitingnan ng Panginoon.
Exactly.
No? Pero the Lord looks at the heart. Magaling ka nga kumanta.
Right.
Magaling ka nga, marami kang abilities. Ang swapang mo naman.
Yeah.
Right? So, marami kang, talented ka for one. Hindi naman tama ang puso mo.
Yeah. True.
So, yun eh.
Yeah. In fact, in the Old Testament, when God selected them, being skilled and being filled.
Okay.
Yeah, being skilled and being filled. The Holy Spirit. So, di ba?
Ito pong mga Christian values that you have, how do you cascade it to the people who work for you? Kasi for sure, hindi naman po sila lahat Christians. Sometimes they don't understand probably how you decide and on things. Paano niyo po ito pinapaabot?
May mga naging, you know how, sa ang Pilipinos minsan, yung, mahilig tayo magbigay ng tip no? Magbigay ng tip, magbigay ng para bumilis yung order. Diba? So, minsan pag wala ka sa shop, doon natin malalaman.
Pero suhod.
Exactly. Siyempre, and I made it a policy. Don't accept. No one should give you any to sabi ko, if we are not able to we should be able to meet the needs of the customer. Kung kailangan tomorrow, we have to do something in the system.
Which I think, we get some sense out of the discussion. Palagi nating sinasabi na ang sakit ng bansa natin corruption. Okay, ang sakit ng bansa natin ganito. Pero alam mo simple lang. Ang sakit ng bansa natin is injustice. Injustice in many areas. Hindi lang yan talking about just injustice sa legal system, injustice sa business, injustice sa pagtrato sa mga tao, because everybody talks about self-gain. Everybody becomes COVID-2 and unjust weight. And it's an abomination to God. And we never get the Lord's blessings because of that.
True.
Well, John, ang dami natin pinag-usapan. Thank you for this. Ang daming insight ito, and I believe our viewers have gotten a lot of insights para dito for their own, of course.
I'm sure kulang ang ating oras, but I mean, this is thank you for having me. No, it's a privilege, really. Privilege, really.
Okay. Well, in line with our episode theme for today, yung dealing with life challenges, samahan naman natin si Gabby and Antoinette as they talk about life testimony in Espresso Self.
Mga usaping in, mga paksang trending,
Mga talakayang may kabuluhan.
lifestyle at kulturang sariling atin.
Buhay Pinoy, pag-usapan natin dito sa
Espresso Self! Alam mo ba, Antoinette, na ang Pilipinas ang may highest prevalence ng breast cancer in 197 countries. Ito ay ayon sa 2016 data na inilabas ng Philippines Obstetrical and Gynecological Society. Hindi lamang breast cancer ang nakakatakot na sakit sa mga kababaihan, Antoinette, dahil sinasabi rin nila na average of 12 Filipinos die due to cervical cancer every day.
Wow, at nakaka-bother talaga yung data na yan, Gabby. Lalo na dahil ito ay karaniwan sa mga karaniwan na napapasa or nakakuha ng mga kababaihan. Pero sigurado akong mapababae man o lalaki, talagang kinatatakutan ang big C na sakit. Actually, maraming viral news sa Facebook ang tumatalakay ng kung ano-anong mga dahilan ng pagkakaroon ng cancer.
Tama yan, Antoinette. Lalo pa ngayon na lahat na ay mabilis at maraming preservatives, mas tumataas ang bilang ng mga nagkakaroon ng big C na sakit. Kasama na ng sakit na ito ay ang marami pang mga challenges, gaya na lamang ng emotional distress, fear of losing one's life, at maging ang takot na maiwan ng mga mahal sa buhay.
Yes, at isama mo pa dyan, syempre, ang financial difficulties dahil talaga namang mahal magpa-chemotherapy. But despite these challenges, we have seen Christians who rose gracefully above these things. At sigurado kong hindi naging ganong kadali yung journey na yon para sa kanila.
I'm sure, Antoinette, I can just imagine, kaya we are blessed to have with us today a cancer survivor, Antoinette.
Kaya naman, welcome to Lighthouse Cafe, Tita Tess Liwanag.
Thank you.
Hi po, Tita Tess. Kumusta po kayo?
Okay lang, Gab.
I'm sure mabe-bless tayo, Antoinette, dahil
Yes.
napakaganda ng testimony pinagdaanan ni Tita Tess. Pwede niyo po bang i-share yung maiksing background lang po tungkol sa inyo po, Tita Tess? Ano pong ginagawa niyo? Saan po kayo na-save?
Naku, talagang maiksi ah. Na-save ako no 14 years old ako. When I was still in high school, second year sa Philippine Science High School.
Okay.
Sa Quezon City. And from then on, I became a member of MBBE or Metropolitan Bible Baptist Church. Noon, Bible Baptist Church pa lang sa Santa Ana. Under Pastor Denny Abante.
Okay.
Then I went to UP after Philippine Science, took up BS Chem,
Wow.
started my family also. I met somebody sa church, and we started a small family.
Okay.
So, na-mention niyo na po yung you met someone, ayan, sa church. And syempre po nung kayo ay nag-testimony, na-share niyo po yung naging journey ninyo, yung marriage po ninyo, and of course, what happened to your husband. So, pwede niyo rin po ba siyang ikwento?
Sige, kwento ko ulit, nakakaiyak ulit. Well, my husband is a faithful man ng church, as you well know. He was in charge of the young people sa church namin, and he used to be the driver of the pastor because year 2004, nagkaroon ng bypass si Pastor, Abante. Siya ang nagsilbing taga-drive niya.
Parang full-time po.
Oo, halos full-time yan. Pagka tinawag, he was a businessman, having 3 businesses. Pero pag pinatawag ni Pastor, Joe, kailangan ko pumunta ng doktor. Ida-drop niya lahat ng ginagawa niya. Just to go with him.
Opo.
Kasi at that time, hindi pa malakas si Pastor. So, he has to be with somebody always.
Okay.
So, then we had 2 children.
Wow.
Isang, at that time, something happened, drastic thing that happened to our family in 2006.
Okay.
When my husband, si Jojo, was, nagkaroon ng seizure. Unfortunately, nung nagka-seizure siya, nakadapa siya. So, hindi ko walang nakakita sa kanya noong, kasi pag nagsi-seizure is just siguro mga 2 or 3 minutes na gumagalaw yung katawan mo. After that, nawawala naman, tapos you just let them be.
Okay.
Unfortunately, nasa kama siya, malamang sa lakas ng seizure niya, napataob siya. So, face down siya. So, nung natapos ang seizure niya, he was suffocated. So, nawala ng oxygen ang ulo niya siguro for a long time.
Wow.
So, when he was brought to the hospital, na-damage na yung brain niya. He never regained his consciousness. So, 1 month in the hospital, pinastabilize siya, and then we decided to bring him home. So, nagkaroon ng home care sa bahay, parang maliit na hospital. I had to get 3 shift nurses ng 8 hours each. And I have to continue to care for a vegetable husband. Is a 24-hour job. So, mahirap. Tapos may 2 pang anak, isang 6, isang 9.
Wow.
So, I have to take over.
And this was very drastic, Antoinette. No? Bigla-biglaan lang. And during that time, ano po naging impact sa inyo? Obviously, natamahan yung family nyo. You also had businesses.
Oo.
You
And
also...
I have to take care of his businesses. Nung nag-asawa ako, I resigned from all my jobs. I became a full-time husband. I have a wife. Feeling ko kasi
Parang natay na kasi.
Natay, oo nga.
full-time wife. I have to take care ng businesses niya. Kasi to sustain yung isang pamumuhay ng isang vegetable na part of the family is very financially challenging.
I'm sure.
So I have no recourse but to continue his business.
And you've shared, Tita Tess, na wala kayong business background before
Oo,
you took
wala
on that.
BS Chem. Ang ginagawa ko lang noon, nagtuturo para may konting ginagawa. Pero wala ako ng entrepreneur or lakas ng loob to go into business. So I started to handle his business. And I saw the Lord's hand also in the business. Ay tinawagan ko yung pastor ko, sabi ko, Pastor, mukhang benta ko na lang ito because I do not have the stamina nor the lakas ng loob.
Courage.
Go and the courage. Nerdy lang ako eh. Diba? Yes, nerdy lang.
How long po, Tita Tess, yung condition ni Tito?
He lasted for 5 years. I took care of him for 5 years.
Wow.
But yung negosyo, I have to continue it because mahal magpa. Yung pagkain lang nila, kailangan liquid. So, hindi mo sila pwedeng tipirin dahil pagka nagkasakit, nagka-rashes, mas malaking problema. So, I have to take care of the business and 2 years into ganong condition. Imaginein mo, imaginein mo na araw-araw yung mahal mo sa buhay, nakikita mo yung gano'n. No, I would, ang nagiging ano ko na lang, mas mahirap sa kanya. Mas mahirap sa isang tao na may gusto kang gawin.
Espresso.
Tapos hindi, parang you are in prison. Knowing Jojo, I guess it would have been harder for him if he has consciousness of what is happening. Sabi nga ng anak ko 6 years old, Papa, buhay pa ba? Mama, buhay pa ba si Papa? Hindi ko alam po.
How did you answer yung ganong question po?
Hindi ko nga rin alam Ang nasabi ko na lang sa kanya, humihinga ba anak? Humihinga pa naman, Mama. And, you know, di buhay pa. Because they miss their father so much. Because 9 years old, how can you explain that to a 9 and a 6 years old? No.
Napakabigat ng sitwasyon, Antoinette. Pero to the point na parang siguro sa iba susuko na based on just that situation.
Yung mga loved ones ko would always say, sorry we cannot take care of Jojo because we do not like to look at him like that. Pero you would
How much
imagine,
more sa inyo?
Every day. Na before when we wake up, yun ang unang namin nakikita. And
then,
before we go to sleep, yun pa rin.
Same.
So it's really very hard. And it took a toll on me also. Because 2 years into taking care of my husband, I began to, probably, I began to have breast cancer. Oo, nagkaroon ako. Minsan sabi nga nila, it's because of stress. Or when I have no time to make a sense of why these things happen to a faithful child of God, such as my husband and a faithful family of the church. Ito, another devastating news.
Nung nalaman niyo po
Another
yung Tito
challenge.
Tess, ano po yung pumasok sa isip niya? I'm sure that moment, medyo vivid pa siya sa inyo. Ano po yung inisip niyo? Ano po yung naramdaman niyo?
Sabi ko, kaya ko pa ba? Hindi ko alam kung kaya ko pa. Kasi at the time, ang nangyayari sa akin, when this happened, I had this, I do not have any dreams of my husband. Parang siguro, my mental was able to cope up by forgetting temporarily that what is it to have a husband. So pag minsan yung mga doktor could be able to pass through yung rigors of deaths and pain if they detach themselves.
Right.
So,
So,
medyo
ganun na rin
lang
yung
nangyari
naging
sa
coping
akin.
mechanism.
Coping mechanism ko is to detach myself. Pero nung naraman kong
May cancer.
may cancer ako, so naisip ko, naku Panginoon, kaya ko pa ba? So, ang pangalawang nagpunta sa mind ko is, palagay ko, baka this is God's exit for me. So, tumawag ako sa pastor ko. Pastor, naku, may bad news po ako. Ano bad news? Sabi ko, may cancer ako. Siguro po, pagpapahingain ako ng Panginoon. No, because at that time, I need to learn a lot of things. Learn the business, learn to be to be a father and a mother to young kids, learning how to be a nurse. Because sometimes nagkakasakit yung mga nurse mo, nag-aaway yung mga nurse mo, mawawala, pag-abroad, so ikaw dapat ang papalit.
Tita
So, all
Tess,
are the same.
how were you able to, yun nga, to get past through that? Yung syempre sobrang lugmok, I believe, ganun yung talagang naramdaman nyo. Kayo po, sa personal muna ninyo na, yun, na buhay, paano,
Hindi ko nga malalaman kung paano I was able to survive without the hand of God. No, doon ko na-realize na kailangan kakapit ka pala.
mas kakapit.
So doon ko na-realize how it is to live a life of faith. No, talagang when you are at your edge, na wala ka nang kakapitan, di ba? Dati kasi, may pera naman ako sa bangko eh. Pag nagkasakit ako. So ipon tayo. Sabi ka nga sa husband ko, bakit trabaho ka ng trabaho? Grabe naman, 3 negosyo ang binuksan niya. We do not need that. We need very small things because we do have little lights lang. Hindi malaki ang ambisyon, malaking bahay, we do not like that. Sabi ko, you don't need to work. Sabi niya, pag namatay ka, nakahiga ka sa pader. Ay, pag namatay ako, nakahiga ka na sa pader. Parang nakahiga ka sa pera. Because kumuha siya ng mga insurances. So, we relied on insurances, on business. Pero, you know, nung nagkasakit siya, all that the money he thought he has and he had saved for his children, we use it for his sickness. Kulang pa. So, hindi ko na-touch yung kanyang insurance because he was not there. Yung life insurance kasi yun. So, I realized right there and then that we have to have faith on God, not on our horses. Katulad ni no mga Israelites when they counted the horses. It is really when you hold on to God and not count what you have na magpaparating sa iyo on the other side of the Red Sea.
So 2 years po after nangyari kay Tito Jojo, nagkaroon kayo ng cancer. Anong type of cancer?
Ang diagnosis sa akin is invasive ductal carcinoma. Nirate nila ako as because of the size, stage 3B. Ayaw lang nilang sabihin 4 dahil nga natatakot yung doktora. Mag-isa ka lang ba, Iha? Opo, 3B ka lang. Parang akala niya pampalubag-lubag. Hindi ka pa 4.
And then how long was your battle against the cancer?
Of course, I am very thankful because the Lord really provided. When it happened to me, sabi ko, I cannot afford it. First, financially, kasi financially, kailangan ng husband ko ng pera. So, yung business would always go to him, his needs. Pangalawa, nagpapaaral ako ng 2 anak. So, sabi ko, wala akong kukuhanan ng panggastos ko sa cancer. Yung ano lang, yung mastectomy lang to remove a breast would cost 100,000. Tapos yung chemotherapy, another 500,000.
Wow.
Hindi pa doon kasama yung pagka may cancer kasi that is most costly. Kasi for a long time, you will not go to the office. You cannot go to work because mahina
Mahina
ka, hindi ka dapat ma-stress. So, yun laging sinasabi. So, costly in terms of work hours. Pero I cannot afford that. So, sabi ng doktor ko, dapat two cycles of chemo ako, of 6 each. So, yung 6 ko, dahil maliit ako, is in-split into 2, so 12. So, after nung nag-12 ako, meron pa dapat, but I opted na. Because feeling ko hindi ko nakakayanin. So I was thankful because the Lord gave me the financial needs. Hindi ko alam, sabi ko nga kay pastor noon, I cannot touch my giving. Hindi ko pwedeng kunin ang pampapagamot ko doon sa sinisave ko for the giving
For the offering.
For the offerings, giving sa church. If the Lord would like me to go into chemo, then He will provide for the finances. And
He
really,
did.
I felt really how Abraham must have felt when he was about to offer his son Isaac. Sabi ng anak niya, here is wood and fire. But where is the offering? Sabi ni Abraham, hindi rin niya alam kung saan manggagaling pero he was able to say, God will provide.
Yes.
So I was able to say also, the Lord will provide, and really the Lord provided. So this is a front, sabi ko nga sa church, when I made the testimony, this is a front seat experience on God's working in our lives. And people who underwent this kind of life-threatening things and faith challenges would have the front row seat into this movie of how the Lord sustains and gives you what you need at right.
And napakaganda nga po ng ending, Antoinette, ng movie niyo po, ng story niyo, Tita Tess, kasi you've been cancer-free for how many years?
10 years now.
10 years.
And
10
the Lord
years.
sustained me.
And probably, Tita Tess, may viewers tayo na siguro
We're
Antoinette
going
may
through the
pinagdadaanan.
same challenge, or siguro hindi man cancer, pero yung ganun din na they feel na lugmok sila. So, meron po ba kayong nais na ibahagi or you want a message?
Ang lessons na nakuha ko is that the Lord blesses us pala, not for our family, but to be a blessing to others.
Wow.
Because it's really, we have to really to give to the Lord the taking care of our families. Mas best yun Kasi yung asawa ko, biruin mo, he took care establishing businesses just for the security of his family. Pero anong security ang nahawakan namin? Isa lang pala ang hawakan mong security, and that is the hand of the Lord.
Amen.
Because if not, best kapag ang Panginoon na ang nagbigay, best yun pati sa mga anak natin at sa family members natin. So, because of that, hindi na ako natatakot for the future of my children. As long as I'm doing the Lord's will, and yun sinasabi ko rin sa mga anak ko, the Lord will take care of me. It is not even the parents who takes care of their needs. It is the Lord that gives all our needs.
Amen. Maraming salamat, Tita Tess. And
Thank you, Kenneth.
yes, sobrang, what great faith, no, na dumaan ka sa ganong sitwasyon and you would count that as a privilege actually to see, yun nga yung front row seat, to have that front row seat of God's faithfulness sa buhay mo.
Sabi nga ni Peter, we learn obedience by the things which we suffer. Not in when the thing is all right in our lives.
Yes.
Thank you
And
very much
Thank you po, Tita Tess.
Yeah, thank you.
And that faith, Antoinette, is holding on to what the Word of God tells us. In fact, it says, all things work together for good to them that love God. Dahil sa kabila ng mga pinagdadaanan natin sa buhay, naroon ang pangako ng Panginoon, pagkatapos na ito, that we will come forth as gold. More on this as we listen to Pastor Ferdinand Escala in Hebrews.
Welcome to Hebrews. Ito po ang segment sa Lighthouse Cafe na tumatalakay sa pang-araw-araw nating pamumuhay na siya din namang ginagamitan natin ng mga prinsipyo mula sa salita ng Diyos o sa Biblia. Ngayong araw na ito, ang topic natin ay very common. At ito ay madalas nating naririnig na at minsan sa ating mga churches ay napapakinggan natin ang mga prinsipyong ito. Ang topic natin ay dealing challenges in life. Alam nyo mga kaibigan, ang mga challenges sa buhay natin ay normal na dumadating. Minsan, ang challenge ng iba ay kahirapan, ang iba naman ay sakit, ang iba naman ay kawalan ng trabaho. Pero merong mga ugat ang mga challenges na yan. At yun ang gusto kong talakayin po sa inyo ngayong araw na ito at sana po maging pagpapala sa inyo ang mga prinsipyo na makikita natin galing sa salita ng Diyos. But let me just enumerate these challenges na gusto nating talakayin. Ang unang-una ay ang the challenge of spiritual ignorance. Ang pangalawa is the challenge of being average. Pangatlo, the challenge of giving in to corrupt passion. At pang-apat is the challenge of giving up on trials and hardships. Ito ay mga ugat kung bakit tayo ay nagkakaroon ng maraming kalungkutan sa ating buhay. Ang unang-unang bagay ay tatalakayin po natin ang challenge of spiritual ignorance. Ito ay malaking problema sa tao kapag hindi niya maintindihan ang tama sa mali. At mahina ang kanyang discernment kung ano ang mabuti at kung ano ang masama. Pero alam niyo po, ito ay tinalakay ng salita ng Diyos. At ang sagot sa mga challenges na ito ay walang iba kundi ang kanyang mayamang biyaya. Alam niyo po ba na ang biyaya ng Diyos ay nagbibigay sa atin ng katalinuhan? Hindi ko katalinuhan lang sa school o sa trabaho, ngunit katalinuhan sa pang-araw-araw. Ano pang sabi ng salita ng Diyos dito sa 2 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 12? For our rejoicing is this, the testimony of our conscience, that in simplicity and godly sincerity, not with fleshly wisdom, but by the grace of God, we have had our conversation in the world, and more abundantly to you ward. What is this? That by God's grace, the challenge of being ignorant or ignorance, we are made knowledgeable and spiritually wise. At yan po ay nangyayari sa isang tao kapag ang biyaya ng Diyos na nasa kanya ay kanyang ginagamit. Nagkakaroon siya ng karunungan sa buhay. Nagkakaroon siya ng karunungan ng pumili ng tama at lumakad sa mabuti. Ang pangalawang challenge is actually the challenge of being average. Yung bang maririnig natin bilang mga Pinoy, di ba? Sinasabi natin parating, okay na yan, tama na yan. Siguro, hindi na kailangang i-improve pa. Well, yan po ay isang challenge sa mga tao. Bakit? Sapagkat hindi natin nagagamit ang pinakamatayog na potensyal na ibinigay sa atin ng Panginoon. At dahil sa biyaya ng Diyos, ginagawa tayo na above the usual ng kanyang biyaya. Ibig sabihin, yung mga bagay na average na ginagawa natin, we are made to be what? Great and glorious. Ito po ay naranasan ni Apostle Paul sa kanyang sariling buhay. Hindi po nagmamalaki si Apostle Paul, but it is true that by the grace of God, he went above his usual accomplishments in life. Sabi po ng salita ng Diyos sa 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verse 9 to 10. For I am the least of the apostles, that am not meet to be called an apostle, because I persecuted the church of God. But by the grace of God, I am what I am. And His grace which was bestowed upon me was not in vain, but I labored abundantly than they all. Yet not I, but the grace of God which was with me. Look at the grace of God. Ang biyaya ng Diyos ang nagbigay kay Apostle Paul ng isang buhay na matayog. Hindi lang sinasabing, pwede na ito. Pero meron pang ilalago at meron pang igagaling dahil sa biyaya ng Diyos. Ang pangatlo po ay ang challenge of giving in to corrupt passion. Alam niyo po, ang biyaya din ng Diyos ang nagbibigay sa atin ng self-control. Ang biyaya ng Diyos ang nagbibigay sa atin ng paglayo sa anumang masamang pita ng ating laman. Maraming problema ang lumalabas because people wouldn't have that control over their corrupt passion. Ano ang sabi po ni Apostle Paul dito? Titus chapter 2 verse 11 to 12. For the grace of God that bringeth salvation hath appeared to all men, teaching us that, denying ungodliness and worldly lusts, we should live soberly, righteously, and godly in this present world. You see, tinuturuan tayo ng biyaya ng Diyos, hindi lang ng mga bagay tungkol sa kaligtasan, kung hindi patungkol din po sa katuwiran at sa pamumuhay na nakalulugod sa ating Panginoon. At huling-huli po ay ang challenge of giving up on trials and hardships. Challenge din yan. Ito po, maraming problema din ang sumasanga kapag mabilis na bumigay ang isang tao sa mga problema. Pero, sagot din to ng biyaya ng Diyos. Binibigyan tayo ng biyaya ng Diyos ng kalakasan upang bitbitin ang mga problema at ang mga trials na meron tayo. Ang sabi po ni Apostle Paul sa 2 Corinthians chapter 8 verse 1 and 2, Moreover, brethren, we do you to wit of the grace of God bestowed on the churches of Macedonia, how that in a great trial of affliction, the abundance of their joy, and their deep poverty abounded unto the riches of their liberality. You see, anong meron sila sa kalagitnaan ng kanilang affliction, ay meron po silang kaligayahan. Meron silang joy. At sa kalagitnaan ng kanilang deep poverty, they had liberality. What is that? The grace of God giving them the strength to rise above trials, to rise above burdens. And the grace of God would give us the strength to do so. Ito po si Pastor Ferdinand Escala, nagsasabing pagpalain po kayong lahat at magandang araw sa inyong lahat.
Answer statistics. In 2010, 10 out of 100 males and 7 out of 100 females died of cancer before reaching the age 75. In 2020, it is forecasted that cancer cases will increase by 29% in developed countries and by 73% in developing countries. So, kasama ang Philippines dun. Overall deaths due to cancer will increase or double, magiging 104%. The increase will be fivefold in developing countries. The increase in incidence of cancers of the breast, colon, and prostate may be attributable to Western lifestyle changes. Yun yung fast food culture, no? So alam nyo na yun. In the Philippines, cancer ranks as the third leading cause of death following infectious and cardiovascular diseases. For the risk factors for cancer, the older we get, the higher the risk of having cancer. So, maaring makalusot tayo sa mga infectious diseases. We may have the heredity of longevity, but attendant to that will be the risk of having cancer. So, sakit ng may edad ang cancer. 70% of cancers occur in age 50 and above. In terms of sex, syempre, by virtue of having the breast in females, magkakaroon silang breast cancer, uterus, uterine cancer, ovary, ovarian cancer. So sa males, prostate cancer. Siyempre, ligtas yung female dun. For the race, it has been seen na yung mga Japanese at saka yung mahilig sa mga raw food, meron sila, prone sila sa gastric and liver cancer. Hindi ko na kayo binabawal sa mga sushi at saka sashimi nyo. Pero yun ang study na lumalabas. Okay? So for occupation, so yung mga uranium miners, siyempre, radiation yun. Asbestos, mga miners na yan, they are prone to asbestosis or lung cancer. Okay? So for health habits, So yung healthy lifestyle, drinking and smoking, unhealthy yun. So drinking and smoking is associated with breast cancer. So family history, 5 to 10% of cancers are related to heredity. So ganun lang kaliit. 90% is mostly random gene mutation as a result of internal and environmental factors. So, socioeconomic status. Ito maganda to, no? Yung mga babae na magkakaroon ng bakuna anti-human papilloma virus, HPV virus, mas protected kayo sa cervical cancer. Dalawang paraan para maiwasan ang cervical cancer, napakasimple lamang po. In the reproductive age group, number 1, yearly pap smear. Yun. Ngayon, pwedeng siguro kung kapos na kapos sa budget, every 2 or 3 years. Pero yung 3 years, nakaka-nervous na yun eh. Kasi hindi naman biglang magde-develop yung anaplasia sa cervical tissue. So, pero mas mabuti every year pap smear. Second, vaccination against human papilloma virus, HPV. These two have caused a decline in the statistics of cervical cancer in developed countries. So 80% of cervical cancer worldwide is found in developing countries, just like us. Kasi yung mayayamang bansa, sagot ng bansa nila ang bakuna sa human papilloma virus. Ito lang ang nakakalungkot. Dati sa Red Book ng pediatricians, ang recommendation, age 12, babakunaan. They have decreased that to age 10. Ang reason, bibigay mo yun in 6 months, epekto na yun at 10 and a half years old. At age 11, yung mga American counterparts natin na female, they had premarital sex. So, yun ang reason. Kaya binaba nila. Nakakalungkot. So, that also causes the widespread dissemination of the human papilloma virus. So, socioeconomic status, lifestyle. So, healthy lifestyle. So, yung stressful lifestyle. So, yung sedentary lifestyle. So, what are the causes of cancer? Hereditary. 5 to 10% of cancers are hereditary. Second, random gene mutation. So, sa internal factors, endogenous and exogenous hormones and immune conditions. Dito ngayon papasok yung sa females, yung breast cancer. Epekto yan ng unopposed estrogen stimulation. The mechanism for formation of breast cancer is prolonged, unopposed estrogen stimulation. External factors, this will be exposure to chemicals which we call as carcinogen. Carcinogen simply means cancer-producing substances or cancer-promoting substances. So, chemicals, radiation. So, si Marie Curie, alam nyo, ang kinamatay niya, cancer. Kasi na-discover nila yung Röntgen, no? Radiation. Kaya, nagkaroon sila ng mga bone cancers yan. Exposure. Pero kayo matakot sa chest x-ray. Minimal lang ang exposure. Pero pag may ina-x-ray po, dapat 5 feet away kayo. Yun yung radiation exposure na delikado. You should be 5 feet away. Pwede naman magsuot ng lead shield. Yung merong pinapasuot to dun sa x-ray room. Oncogenic virus. Pareho lang yan ang ibig sabihin ng carcinogen. Oncogen means cancer-producing virus. So may makikita kayo dyan, HBV, HCV, HPV, HIV. Ang ibig lang sabihin nun yan, hepatitis B virus, hepatitis C virus, human papilloma virus ng cervical cancer, HIV, alam nyo na ito, human immunodeficiency virus causing acquired immune deficiency syndrome or AIDS. So for the bacteria, you may have heard of H. pylori, Helicobacter pylori. It causes chronic gastritis, but also this prolonged inflammation can lead to gastric or stomach cancer. So ito yung bacteria na pwedeng mag-cause ng cancer. So cancer prevention. 1/3 of all cancers are preventable. So 1/3 of cancer cases can be prevented and 1/3 can be cured if detected early and treated promptly and adequately. So we have the primary prevention, removal of the carcinogen. Secondary prevention, early detection and prompt treatment. Tertiary prevention will be prevention of complications due to cancer. So dietary guidelines for cancer prevention and control, hindi ho ako dietitian, nutritionist, so babasahin ko lang ho ito. Diet should be based on plant products such as fresh fruits and vegetables, 5 to 9 servings per day. 1 serving is equivalent to 1/2 cup. Okay? So recommended average would be 6 servings, that will be 3 cups a day in divided portions. So total calorie requirement, at least 50% should come from cereals, legumes, and tubers. Less than 30% should come from fat. Ito yung mahalaga. Less than 30% should come from fat, preferably yung unsaturated fat. Yung saturated fat, delikado ko yun. So more than 10% should come from fruits and vegetables. Less than 10% should come from sugar, because cancer cells thrive or require more sugar for their more anaerobic metabolism than normal cells. Anaerobic simply means metabolism without the use of oxygen. So yung aerobic metabolism tayo yun, yung sa Krebs cycle with the use of oxygen. So meat, not more than 80 grams per day, roughly 2, yung bahay ng posporo, ganun lang kakonti. Maghapon na po pala yun per day. So 80 grams. So preferably fish and poultry without the chicken skin. Okay. Kasi nandun yung cholesterol. Tapos sa cholesterol na yun, nandun yung carcinogen. Okay? So salt, less than 6 grams per day. Sa diet, we acquire 2 grams. So yung kailangan mo lang talaga, 4 grams. So alam niyo yung timbangan dun sa chicharong bulaklak. Di ba may grams doon? Kayo na lang magsukat kung gaano karami yung 4 grams ng salt. A day na yun. Kasi yung 2 grams sa diet masasatisfy na. Okay? Cook food at low temperature by boiling or steaming. Not by frying. So yung French fries, no? Nakakatakot yan. Fried chicken, yan. Broiling or burning. Lessons learned from cancer. Ito isang testimony ng cancer survivor. Information is power. At this moment, in this time you have allotted me, I have empowered you with information. Second, cancer survivor is one of the best kinds of people. Why? Because they are the people who know they will soon become extinct. So they live their life to the fullest each day. Talagang they make the most of the 24-hour gift God has entrusted to them. They live each day as if it were their last. They are the best kinds of people. Amen? And they know that it is love and service to your fellow man is what counts before God. And that is how they spend their remaining precious time on earth. They are the best kinds of people. Prayer works. It's the first option, not the last resort. Faith in God matters. I cannot overemphasize that. And cancer advocates are more than crusaders. With that, I end my talk. God bless.
Maraming salamat sa inyong pakikibahagi sa lahat ng usapin natin ngayong araw na ito sa Lighthouse Cafe. Sana'y lahat kayo pinagpala at kayo nagalak sa lahat ng ating pinag-usapan.
At maraming salamat din po sa aming mga ministry partners. Maraming salamat po sa 4 Gospel Catering Services at sa Miami Cakes at sa Taste and See by Rexy para sa aming mga special cupcakes and tokens.
At maraming salamat din po sa Bella Pit Stop and Hair Cutters Republic para sa aming supply ng makeup products. Maraming salamat din po kay Asia Brewery Pascual for our yogurts today. At salamat din sa HMR Philippines for our furnitures on deck.
At para naman po sa mga on-the-go na palaging naka-mobile, you can easily catch our latest episodes through our YouTube channel. Hanapin niyo lamang po ang Lighthouse Bible Baptist Church and ang Great Commission Television YouTube channels. At huwag niyo pong kakalimutang mag-subscribe.
Tama po yan. And also, please check www.gctv.asia. Yan po ang official website ng GCTV channel. And check out our 24/7 live streaming of Christian shows. Kaya may Cignal TV man o wala, ay pwede ninyong mapanood ang lahat ng shows ng GCTV. And we also encourage you to download the GCTV and the Lighthouse Bible Baptist Church mobile apps from Appstore and Google Play Store.
At maraming salamat din po sa mga ipapadala ninyong comments sa amin sa Facebook sa Lighthouse Cafe o di kaya ay sa Good Talks at lighthousecafetv.com.
At huwag niyong kalilimutan.
Bukas po, Pastor. Medyo excited din po ako eh.
Yung ating, ano nga yung gabi?
The Pulpit.
The Pulpit. Live po yan mula sa auditorium ng Lighthouse Bible Baptist Church. Okay, so thank you for joining us today and be with us again next week as the Lighthouse Media Ministry ng Lighthouse Bible Baptist Church brings to you another episode of the Lighthouse Cafe,
Where good talks happen!